Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel and thank you for taking your own time out to check out this movie review, a brand new movie directed by M. Night Shyamalan called Knock at the Cabin. This is based on a 2018 novel by Paul G. Tremblay called The Cabin at the End of the World, and I just got out of seeing Knock at the Cabin tonight. Now I've heard kind of mixed things about this movie, and seeing the trailer, it kind of caught my attention. I was intrigued as to how this movie was going to play out, what this movie was all around, and I didn't know it was based on a novel at the time. In this movie, you've got the likes of Dave Bautista, Jonathan Groff, Ben Aldridge, Kristen Cui, and Rupert Grint, and essentially tells a story about a family of three who are on like a vacation. However, their cabin is intruded by four strangers who tell them they must make a sacrifice in order to avert the apocalypse. So yeah, on paper, sounds like a pretty cool premise. I was intrigued as to how this was going to play out. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, after leaving this movie, I felt this one kind of landed flat. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some fantastic cinematography here. It's done really beautifully. Definitely kind of the first couple of shots especially, you know, kind of grabbed my attention immediately. Just focused on like kind of this grasshopper and just kind of the fields that this grasshopper was kind of in, and this kind of like scenery. I was beautiful. It was stunning. It was visually appealing. The use of this one location was also a great element to try build that suspense and to try build that tension as the movie played out during its entire duration of the runtime. The performances all around are great here, especially by Dave Bautista, Kristen Cui, Ben Aldridge, and Jonathan Groff. I think that they all played a good part. I would definitely say the standout for me was Dave Bautista as a character called Leonard, but I did enjoy again the other cast who played Eric, Andrew, and Wen. And what really appealed to my attention of this movie is that story, because it sounds like a simple enough premise, and that alone you think, wow, you know, okay, well, someone's got to make a sacrifice in order to kind of save the apocalypse. Now, obviously, if you were in that situation with a family, you kind of like, well, you know, who would sacrifice themselves to kind of save the world, like in family? Like, how would you make that decision? So that element of the story is what really kind of entices you to keep going with this movie and be like, okay, so how are they going to come to this decision? Are they even going to make this decision? That is what the suspense is kind of all around, whereas these four strangers also help to build that. However, I will say where this movie falls flat for me is the story and the ending. It's just a little bit lackluster, if I'm being completely honest, because at the centre of this movie, you have Jonathan Groff and Ben Aldridge, who play a gay couple of Eric and Andrew. Now, they're likeable characters and they give great performances, but personally, I didn't really feel the romantic relationship between them. And I kind of wish that I did, because that is meant to be kind of like one of the core fundamentals that you meant to get invested in. And by all means, I really wish it was working out, because I wanted to root for them more than I did, but by the end of it, I didn't really seem to care. I cared more for Dave Bautista's character of Leonard, but I just felt like something was missing, or because this is based on a novel, which I've not read, by the way, I don't know if M. Night Shyamalan was maybe held back in what he could do, or maybe certain changes he could make to this kind of screenplay, but it felt like there was maybe some kind of limitations on maybe doing, you know, kind of like a big finale kind of thing, because you don't really get that. It's not really a spoiler because I'm not telling you what happens. I just feel like something was missing to kind of have this piece kind of put together, that last piece in the puzzle to really fit together and kind of leave you going like, wow, okay, you know, that kind of blew you away. I didn't get that whatsoever from this movie. So I'm going to give the score of Knock at the Cabin a 2.5 out of 5 stars. So have you seen this movie? Are you going to go check it out? If you have seen it, or you feel like, oh, you may be going to check this one out, or you may skip it, I'll leave any and all comments down below so we can continue the discussion down there. And also subscribe to the channel by clicking the red button down below so I can see you again on a future video. Also, if you're unaware, I do have a Patreon. I have a couple of tiers you can select from, which starts from £2 per month. And these tiers do include like early videos, my release schedules, say what goes onto the channel. You can actually pick out movies for me to review. There's so much stuff to find out about my Patreon. The link is down below in the description box if you want to check out more. And I want to give a big special thank you to all my awesome Patreons who help support the channel. And thank you for taking your own time to check out this review. And until the next time that I see you, I'll be seeing you later.